Do you know why hawkers in Bangladesh are showing the red card to authorities? In Bangladesh, one of the most densely populated countries in the world, 87% of the labor force are estimated to be in the informal economy. Droughts, cyclones, floods, and poverty push many farmers to leave their villages and seek self-employment in the cities. Everywhere you go in Bangladesh, you'll see hawkers, mostly men, selling vegetables, clothing, and other everyday items. Although hawkers are integral to the urban landscape, they are still marginalized and stigmatized. Extreme heat, heavy rain, traffic accidents, and pollution are some of the hazards they suffer. But the one that seems to impact hawkers the most are the bribes they are forced to pay just to sell in the streets. These bribes are collected by law enforcement, usually in cahoots with local authorities, generating huge profits through corruption. Although hawkers are not recognized as workers, they are still taxed in this way and have no protections if they refuse to pay. Evictions, theft, violence, and harassment are everyday occurrences. Friendly politicians might offer temporary protection, but when their mandate finishes, hawkers are once again left to fend for themselves. That is why it is so important for hawkers to work with authorities and find permanent solutions.
আসলে হকারদের নিয়ে আমাদের চট্টগ্রাম সিটি কর্পোরেশনের মাননীয় মেয়র বীর মুক্তিযোদ্ধা এমরেজ করিম চৌধুরী একটা পরিকল্পনা নিয়েছেন, চিন্তা করেছেন। যেহেতু হকাররাও কিন্তু দুস্থ এবং গরিব মানুষ, তাদের খেটে খেতে হয়, এটাই তাদের রুজি, এবং ওদের জন্য একটা নির্দিষ্ট জায়গায় একটা মার্কেটের মতন করা হয়েছে এবং হলিডে মার্কেট, যেটা ইন্টারন্যাশনালি অনেক দেশেই আছে, সেই হলিডে মার্কেট করছে চট্টগ্রাম সিটি কর্পোরেশন থেকে।
In some markets, such as the flower market in Dhaka, hawkers have been able to be protected by authorities, but it was the result of years of struggle and permanent stalls are still needed.
ফুল মার্কেটের সাথে জড়িত আছি আপনার 25 বছর ধরে। আমি ব্যবসা দিছি হলো আপনার 22 বছর ধরে। তো আমি মানে ব্যবসার ক্ষেত্রে কষ্টে যুদ্ধেই চলে যাচ্ছে, আর কষ্ট করে আমি ব্যবসা করতেছি, যুদ্ধ করে আমি ব্যবসা করতেছি।
এখানে আসি আমরা চাই যেন এই দোকানরা সুন্দর করে একটু পিছনে নামাইয়া, পিছনে জায়গা আছে, যদি পিছনে আমাকে একটু কিছু করে দেয় তাইলে আমরা একটু।
In Chittagong, vendors reported being evicted by private entities such as neighborhood associations, and also being evicted from selling spaces once a new mayor is elected. Even when vendors do get a permanent market, conditions are often far from ideal. The Nayaranganj Market Authority, for example, managed to get a place for 432 members, but high rental costs, small stalls, narrow alleys, and competition from hawkers in the street make it an unsuitable solution. That is why hawkers in Bangladesh are showing the red card to authorities, a literal red poster which reads, "We are demanding a national policy and law for street vendors." This demand is inspired by the Street Vendor Act in India, a pioneering piece of legislation passed in 2014 that goes beyond providing a legal framework and also focuses on improving livelihoods and protecting vendors from violence and harassment. Although the Street Vendor Act still has its limitations and gaps, it would be a giant leap forward for hawkers in Bangladesh who have no protection under the law. Ideally, hawkers, recognized as workers and as formal negotiation counterparts, could advocate for permanent selling spaces such as the Zahur Hawkers Market, which was only possible after decades of struggle. It is clean, with white alleys and spacious stalls. This is the kind of workspace other hawkers across the country are fighting for. But it's also clear that to improve the lives of hawkers, right to work is not enough. That is why Kamal Siddiqui and Rapon Chaudhuri of Labor at Informal Economy began a housing project which now accommodates around 350 people in Nayaranganj. Each family is assigned 3 plots of land, 2 for housing and 1 for farming, so vendors can grow their own food.
আন্তর্জাতিকভাবে জিনিসটা জানতে পারলো যে বাংলাদেশের একজন নেতা এই হকারদের জন্য যাদের ঘরবাড়ি ছিল না তাদের ঘরবাড়ির ব্যবস্থা করেছে, কাজের ব্যবস্থা করেছে।
These examples demonstrate that there are effective worker-led solutions to solve issues faced by hawkers in Bangladesh. We must stand united and support the Red Card campaign so that hawkers will finally have laws and policies that ensure their right to work in public spaces in an organized and democratic way.